Thank you so much, and I cannot say enough about the level of commitment and dedication that Joel has served and showed the city. We are going to miss him as he transitions to go to the next level of what he's going to do. But we all know he's never too far away. And join a list of people who have continued to be committed and serve this city in a real way. And I want to thank my friend, Council General Ophir, for his support and dedication and clarity. And a few of our honorees that are here today, we have some real surprises in our honorees. And I want to thank this team behind me. And you see them as they adorn the stage as part of our Jewish leadership. But they would be the first to tell you that any event we have here, you will see a similar reflection of the diversity of this administration. In order to understand communities, you must have people in position of power that can bring the position of communities to the table. And in my brevity today, I want to say to the men and women and the children and the families of the Jewish community, we are in extremely turbulent times. We're in a time where we must ask ourselves, what type of country are we going to live in? Yesterday we honored, or Monday we honored, the men and women of the armed forces. And I shared with them, we sit under the tree of freedom because they watered that tree with their blood. And I also shared with them the significance of who they are as I looked across the room on the Intrepid and saw children and families sitting next to each other. And I reflected on what is the next generation of soldiers? What's the next generation of police officers? What's the next generation of leaders of our amazing country? And like Israel, where young people join the military service to really embrace patriotism, we have moved so far away from our patriotism and what really rooted us in the success in the first place. When you think about the fact that only 18% of young people between the age of 18 and 34 love America, only 18%. That is a question that we're asking, who's coming through the pipeline? Who's going to wear the Navy uniform, the Army uniform? Who's going to be our soldiers, our National Guards? Who's going to say they love America? And then when you add that lack of percentage with the fact that right on our college campuses we're radicalizing our children not only to hate Jewish people, but to hate the country that they're educated in the first place. Something is wrong with that. And the real tragedy of this is that how many good people are remaining silent because they're afraid of being canceled. Well, I say, cancel me any day. I'm not going to sit back and allow this to happen to the country that I love. We have to stop being afraid, because there were people who stood back and watched slavery take place in America and didn't say anything and watched large number of people destroyed. There were people who stood back and watched what happened in Nazi Germany. I walked through Krakow and went to see what happened in those camps. Far too often, people who knew better stood back. And so I want to know, where are the people right now when we're watching this hatred play out on the streets of our cities across the globe? We have normalized hate in our globe. We've normalized anti-Semitism. We've normalized going after groups because of who they are and what they respect. Hate has no place in our city, and we will say it over and over again. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish. It doesn't matter if you are Muslim. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. It doesn't matter if you Sikh. We know it is time for us to embrace the humanity that makes us who and what we are. That's what this day is about. As we celebrate your heritage, you are not the only that have adorned this lawn, that we acknowledge the diversity of our city. And as I traveled to Rome a few weeks ago to the Pope calling together a human fraternity, we're all part of the same family. And anytime the family is in disarray, it impacts us all. And I believe this is a moment of Tikkun Olam. It's time for us to heal the world. I cannot harm you without harming myself. I cannot hurt you without hurting myself. For some reason, we've embraced this concept that I can call for the destruction of a particular group without realizing hidden in that destruction is the secret that is going to bring me the prosperity that I'm looking for. And so I don't say destroy from the river to the sea. I say build from the river to the sea. Embrace from the river to the sea. We're all in this together. And we cannot turn our backs on each other. And we have a rich history of our participation. I was so moved backstage, meeting a woman, Shusham Haran. She's an Israeli and traveled to the continent of Africa. As they're dealing with drought and the inability to feed their families, she went and showed the countries of Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Tanzania how to grow food, how to ensure that their families can prosper. Remove her from the equation. And if something were to happen to her, she was part of the victimization. If we would lose her, we would lose the lives she's saving in Tanzania, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. We have to start connecting the dots. Every life we lose is going to cascade out and cause the loss of thousands of other lives. That's what this pursuit is about. So I'm not doing it because I'm the mayor. I'm not doing it because I want to stand up and raise my voice. I'm doing it because we depend on each other. This is a moment where we must stand up for what is right. And if we get it right in New York, it would cascade throughout the entire country and the entire globe. We must start saying hate has no place in New York. Hate has no place in New Jersey, Connecticut, Los Angeles, Iowa, Nebraska. Wherever we are, hate has no place in this country and across our globe. So to my brothers and sisters who are here, I thank you for being here, for not allowing yourself to believe this city would be a city where you would take off your yarmulke before walking on our streets. This won't be a city where you would take off your hijab, your Sikh turban, your dashiki. This is not the city we will live in. There is more of us than there is of them. And we need to always remember that. The loudest is not the majority. Don't allow yourself to be fooled because people yell loud and say nasty, hurtful things, that they're representative of what the city has to offer. There is more of us than it is of them. That's who we are as a city. So I thank you, and I thank those who have adorned this tent today. We live under this big tent together, and I want you to join me as we honor those who made sure to state hate has no place in the great city of New York, in the great country of America, and the great land of Israel. Thank you very much.